Yeah.
SubhanAllah, you actually said something in a Hyde Park video, a long old one, a fuzzy one before HD, and you said that every Muslim should have a library.
Yeah.
And from this moment, I started collecting books.
Alhamdulillah.
Because of you, SubhanAllah.
I'm so happy to hear that.
And I just thought, you know what, he's right. And I just thought, I've got books everywhere, I've not read them all, but it's like, you think you need to get around to reading. Of course, I've read a lot more, but the point is that, and I've been to your house, I've been to your house in the UK, I've been to your family, your library in Pakistan, and I've never seen so many books. And I'm not just talking about books, I'm talking about antique books. Like, I was shocked, you're literally being a part of that, like, preservation of the Islamic history.
Yes.
You have coins, you have books. Tell us a bit about how this started.
Brother John, as you, rightly pointed out, that I talked about this issue, this problem we have, the booklessness. I call it the Muslim dilemma of booklessness. We were the most bookly people in the world, the Muslims. Once upon a time, our civilization depended on books. We are from a book. We are Muslims because of a book. The Quran is a text. It is a book which was revealed upon the Prophet. And the first command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the Muslim ummah in the Quran is read. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord. Okay? So how can we, the Muslims, be the most uneducated, illiterate people on the planet? This doesn't make sense. Not that we are, but we can't even imagine that. We are the last people on the planet to be in that state where our children are, they are underperforming, for example. They're not the best educators, they're not the best lecturers. Maybe there are exceptions, of course. I know there are exceptions in all Muslim countries and beyond, right?
But it's not like it was in the history,
we don't really lead the field of education anymore like we did for over 1,000 years. Look, the best libraries in the world, the largest libraries in the world, were in the Muslim world. Cordoba, Damascus, Timbuktu was relatively humble in comparison to Baghdad. Okay, Baghdad, the Mongols, what they burnt and destroyed in the river, only Allah knows what we lost there. You cannot imagine, Brother John, what we lost in that particular library. Can you imagine all the manuscripts of the Quran from the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th century we lost there? Can you imagine all the manuscripts of Bukhari, Muslim, books on philosophy, science, astronomy, hadith, commentaries on the Quran, and the poetry of the pre-Islamic era, medicine, you name every single field. Muslims were book crazy. They were book maniacs. Okay, they were bibliomanes. Okay, and unfortunately, after this destruction, we kind of drifted away from this tradition of keeping books, book production, book binding, book collecting, book writing, book authoring. All these things, we had pioneered all these things. And what's the evidence? The evidence is the record of our libraries. Hakam II, one of the Umayyad caliphs in Spain, he had a library of 400,000 volumes. This is when there is no printing press, by the way. Every
all
single,
handwritten.
all handwritten, all collected from around the world. He had agents working in places like Baghdad and Damascus and Aleppo, where scribes would be writing books, and these agents would specifically buy books for him and send them to Cordoba, to Spain. And 44 volumes alone cataloged the names of the books.
Just
the names, just the catalog was 44 volumes.
Subhanallah.
400,000 volumes. And not even 10% of that survives today, because wars, political turmoil, when Spain was lost, all of this was lost with the loss of land, unfortunately. And finally, the Library of Granada. So you can see how passionate I feel about this topic. I really feel strongly about this, that we the Muslims have criminally neglected the knowledge of our civilization and the reasons why that civilization was so great.
Do you think this is the key to actually regaining our Islam.
100%. 100%. We need to become bookly as we were for over 1,000 years in the past, right? We still have manuscripts. I mean, you've seen my manuscripts, some of them, right?
I can't explain to anyone at home. You have to realize that your house is literally full of books.
Yes.
There's nowhere else.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
To the detriment
to the extent that, like, literally, you have them up your stairs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to describe your house. I know this is, but I know you wouldn't mind.
That's the way it is. Yes.
I know you're not supposed to, but I'm just saying, there's literally books and books and books everywhere. You know. You know, like subhanallah, because you know and I've been to a few. I've travelled with you. I remember going to Peshawar. We went to Peshawar. You wanted to buy some antiques. You know, you bought.
When we had to hide you under a baton hat.
I had a baton hat, and literally we're walking through the Peshawar market. It's not the safest place, but you know, you wanted to view some coins, some manuscripts. We went to some antiques in London. I've been all over with you, and to see, subhanallah, that love for the preservation of Islam
heritage.
And the heritage.
Look, this is our heritage. I believe we must get involved in preserving our heritage. We have to protect our heritage, because with this heritage is attached our sense of identity. You lose your history, you lose your identity. And once you lose your identity, you have nothing to look up to. You don't have any legacy to claim. You don't have anything to be proud of. You know, the reason we today, the Muslims, can speak about our poets, our philosophers, our thinkers, our Ghazalis and Ibn Taymiyyahs and our Ibn al-Wardis and, you know, all the maybe Ghalibs and Hafiz al-Shirazi, Persian, Urdu and Arabic poets and all of that and beyond, and all our people, is because we possess their legacy in the form of manuscripts. And they're being destroyed systematically, by the way, just because we have neglected that. So I'm doing my part to the best of my ability to protect as much as I can. Okay, at times I've been with my Indiana Jones hat on. You know, you've been to some of those journeys with me. The purpose is, bringing it back to the main issue, the purpose is to leave this heritage behind for our progeny, for our ummah, the youngsters, for them to take inspiration. For them to take inspiration. And I really love this idea in Australia. I came across